Hi and welcome back to my channel. So this week's coaching video is going to be about how to deal with emotional abuse. And more people than you think are dealing with emotional abuse. They may not tell you about it, but a lot of people are. So emotionally abusive behavior is when something is said, implied, or done to intentionally hurt someone's feelings on a consistent basis over an extended period of time. Let me say that one more time just in case you didn't get it. Emotionally abusive behavior is when something is said, implied, or done to intentionally hurt someone's feelings on a consistent basis over an extended period of time. So the day-to-day bickering, teasing, insulting, or other negative behaviors do happen in ordinary relationships. However, a pattern of emotionally hurtful behavior can eventually evolve into an emotionally abusive relationship. You may be in an emotionally abusive relationship if your partner makes you feel like you're not good enough, calls you names or puts you down, threatens or intimidates you. If you're experiencing any of that, you are in an emotionally abusive relationship. And it doesn't matter if they smile and kiki when they say it, they are still abusing you. So you've got to know that. And you've got to know that you don't deserve that. Okay? I don't care if you're the nastiest person in the world. You still don't deserve that. So if you are in an abusive relationship, recognize that you cannot change your partner and it's best to seek help and or leave the relationship. So many times people think, oh, I can change him. Oh, I can change her. No, you can't. You can't change me unless I want to be changed. Trust me when I tell you that. Okay? Now, and I've had my share of emotionally abusive relationships, and I just happily, took my little behind and went stage left because I'm not the one for that. There was a time when I was a different person, and I probably would have put up with it a little bit longer, but not now. Not now. Michelle is out because I don't have time to deal with somebody that wants to emotionally tear me down when you're in a relationship with someone. And it's not just an intimate relationship. It doesn't have to be just your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend. It can be a family member. It can be a best friend. It can be a colleague at work. It can be your children. It can be so many different things, but you've got to know that you deserve much better than that. So let's talk about how to deal with that. So number one, be aware of the signs of emotional abuse. Emotional abuse functions to make you feel small and strip you of your independence and self-worth. Your partner may make you feel isolated, use intimidation or controlling behavior. While your partner may not use physical force, he or she may threaten violence. Let me put a pin right there. You threaten me with violence, it's best that I leave because guess what? I'm going to get you before you get me. And I don't have time to be behind bars, okay? I don't have time for it, and nor do I want to live my life that way. So it's best for me just to go ahead and leave before one of us gets hurt. So your partner may limit your freedom, not allow you to spend time with some people, or insist on knowing your whereabouts, reject you, pretend you don't exist, blame you for the things that are not your fault, or belittle you by calling you names, insulting your family or your career. Let me backtrack. Because when you date someone, and we all have thought it was cute, let's just keep it real. When you date somebody and they're calling you, hey baby, where are you? And you're like, oh, I'm at the grocery store. I'm at Helen's house or Bob's house, whatever. We think it's cute. Oh, they're calling to check on me. But when this behavior becomes repetitive and it's all the time, when you're not in their sight, they're calling you, wanting to know where you are, what you're doing. Been down the road with that one. That's emotionally abusive behavior. You are a grown man or woman, and you don't need anybody tracking you down every time you're out of their sight. That's emotionally abusive. You've got to know that. Sometimes, yes, it is because they just really care, but if they do it all the time, honey, you need to move on. Emotionally abusive behavior patterns that are controlling can spill over into finances. Emotional abuse can include a partner monitoring your finances, making you account for every penny, withholding money from you, or restricting your spending. Let me tell you something. I wish a man would tell me how much I can spend, or say to me, Michelle, I need you to let me know what you're spending. Oh, the devil is a lie. I almost said something, but the devil is a lie. We are grown folks here. I don't need to tell you everything I'm spending my money on. Okay? Now, in a relationship, you can say, okay, you know what? We're going to have a limit. If you spend over $150, we need to talk about it. It's not that I'm getting your approval, or it's not that I'm looking for your approval, nor do you need mine, but we need to talk about it. Because I can say, well, honey, I know you want that fishing rod. I'm just throwing it out there. But we really need to take care of X, Y, Z. And then you can say, oh, you know what, Michelle, you're right. I forgot about that. Let's go ahead and take care of that. And the next payday, or if there's something left, I'll go ahead and get that fishing rod. You see what I'm saying? But, honey, don't let anybody control your money. Don't let anybody control your every spending, everything you spend money on down to the penny. That's emotional abuse. You are grown. You know how to spend your money. You don't need anybody looking over your shoulder counting every penny that you spend. No. Let me move on. Emotional abuse can also, emotional abuse can also include monitoring, like I said, your time, insisting on checking your phone and emails, and limiting your contact with family. See, what you're not going to do is go through my phone. Where's my phone? This is my phone. You have no right to say, well, Michelle, I want you to log in. I just got an email. Sorry about that. But you have no right to say, Michelle, I want you to log in so that, I can see who's been inboxing you on Facebook or on Instagram, or who's been emailing you. Let me check your call log. Because if you have to do all of that, or if I have to do all of that, I don't need to be with you. I do not. I am grown. Okay? And people are going to do what they want to do. Okay? Just like this is my personal phone. This is my work phone. Y'all don't talk about me. My agency is upgrading phone. This is a 5S. But if I wasn't getting phone calls on my personal phone, guess what? I could have people call me on my work phone. Because when you call my desk, right now it's transferred to this phone right here. And you still won't know who's calling me. And I'm definitely not going to show you this, because this is my work phone. So I have PII on here because of things that I work with in my office. You see where I'm going with that? So you can get your throwaway phone. I don't have to have stuff going to my main phone. But when you get to that point, and somebody wants to clock your time, go through your phone, your emails, your messages, restrict your contact with your family, that's a problem. You need to move on. Number 2, know your rights. You have the right to be treated with respect, with an equal relationship with your, you have the right to be treated with respect within an equal relationship with your partner. You have the right to change your mind and or end the relationship if it no longer serves you. Let me put a pin right here. It bothers me to the core of my being when somebody tells someone, you know what, this isn't working out and I think I'm going to move on, and that person gets mad. They act like they own you, and next you know they're stalking you, and we hear horror stories of people turning up dead and or missing because you have this person that says, hey, look, you want to break up with me, but I don't want to break up with you. Don't be stupid. If somebody doesn't want to be with you, move on. Move on. Why would you want somebody to stay with you because they're afraid to leave you? Let me move on. You have the right to your own opinions. Even if your partner disagrees, you have the right to receive clear, honest answers to important questions. You have the right to say no to your partner if you do not wish to engage in sexual contact. Yes, I said it. If your partner doesn't wish to have sex with you, you better keep it moving, because you might find yourself getting in that police car with handcuffs behind your back. They have a right to tell you no. Don't you ever let somebody sit and tell you, well, I'm your husband, so you have to sleep with me. I'm your wife, so you have to sleep with me. I'm your boyfriend or girlfriend, so you have to sleep with me. No, everybody has a right to say, nope, I don't want it. Okay? These are your rights. Don't allow your partner to convince you otherwise. Period, point blank. Number 3, realize that you cannot change your partner. This is key. Making your partner understand or realize that he or she is hurting you is not your responsibility. Let me say that one more time. Making your partner understand or realize that he or she is hurting you is not your responsibility. So stop making it your responsibility. It's not your job to make them understand. If they don't get that, then that's just it's too bad, it's their loss. First of all, they get it. They don't want to get it because they don't want you to leave, but that's their problem. Okay, that's between them and the God that they serve. You don't make it your responsibility to make them understand. Abusers do not change from receiving your compassion. They change by learning to act with compassion. So you're not doing your partner any favors by staying in a relationship. You may feel like you are the only person who understands him, or feel like she's a really good person if you get to know her, but don't minimize how much pain this person causes you. It is not heroic to stay with a person that disrespects you. Been down that road and I would never do it again. I was young and dumb, but I'm older and much wiser now. So no, I would never do that again. It's not your job to make them understand why you're leaving. And you're not the only person. You have to understand that you don't go around telling yourself, oh, I'm the only person that understands him or her. So what? Let somebody else understand them. Heck, let them understand themselves. That's not your job. Number 4, don't retaliate. Abusers are excellent manipulators and may provoke you to the point of breaking, then blame you for everything. Don't retaliate. Okay, don't do it on any digs, insults, or threats. While it may be hard to hold back your own temper, remember that it's a trap and you may be the one suffering the consequences. And as I say that, what comes to mind is there have been many cases where you had a man that was not only emotionally abusive to his wife and or girlfriend, but physically. And girlfriend just had enough. When she should have just left, she stayed, trying to be, the bigger person, and saying, hey, because you do. Let me say this, you always see that something good in that person. And you're like, there's that good right below the surface. And if I just stay and keep working on it, I can get it to break through. But let me tell you something, you can't. That person has to want to change. They're not stupid. They know they're hurting you. So let's be all the way clear. They are not sitting there unaware that they're hurting you. They know that. But that's their whole aim. That's what they do. Okay? So, well, I was saying something. I forgot what I was saying. When you get to know them, I forgot what the heck I was telling you all. Lord have mercy. Since what happens when I get off on my tangent. Oh, when I was talking about realizing that you can't change that person. It's not heroic to stay with the person that disrespects you, because you get nothing out of it at all. And in the end, you're going to walk away heartbroken and wishing, you saying to yourself, Lord, I wish the hell I had left when I had the chance. Or I should have left earlier. So stop feeling like you have to be the modern day Robin Hood and save the day, because you don't. Wait a minute. I take that back. I was talking about consequences. Yes, please forgive me. I lost my place because, I got on my tangent. So I was talking about not retaliating. And I thought about, there was a few years ago, a woman who, her husband had been physically and abusive to her for many, many years. Girlfriend got fed up and got tired, and she killed him. And she ended up going to jail. And it's sad that, well, first of all, yes, she did kill this man, but nobody saw that she had been dealing with this man's physical and verbal abuse for many, many years. She got tired and she killed him. Okay? So I don't want you to be that person. Don't retaliate. I know you're going to want to feel like you want to retaliate, because I ain't going to lie, I've done it. I had an ex that I used to think, plotting. I should text him and say, hey, meet me XYZ so we can talk. And then when he got there, just run him down with my car. But then I think about the long term. I don't want to go to jail. Okay, I really don't. So you may feel like retaliating, but please don't, because it serves no purpose. All it does is hurt you in the long run. They may be dead and gone, but guess what? You're going to be behind bars forever. So, or for a long time. Never respond with physical force, even when provoked. Try to control your impulses by walking away, taking deep breaths, or cutting the discussion off. Let me just say this. Let me say this. The article that I found talked about not responding with physical force even when you're provoked. I'm sorry. If you put your hands on me, I'm going to put my hands on you. Period, point blank. You put your feet on me, I'm going to put my feet on you. And I promise y'all, I have some strong arms and some strong legs. If I can move 950 pounds on the leg press for 3 reps, I promise you I can kick you in your back and probably other places and do some serious damage. So while I'm not advocating hitting and putting your hands on people, don't ever sit and let somebody put their hands on you. Please don't do that. Do you know how disheartening that is when I see somebody getting the crap beat out of them and they're taking a deep breath and just, woo-sawing? No, you get to swing and I'm swinging back. Let me move on. Number 5, recognize the long-term risks of an abusive relationship. An abusive relationship can contribute to physical problems such as migraines, arthritis, and I was surprised when I read that because I didn't realize that arthritis was a side effect, and body pains, mental health problems such as depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and alcohol/drug use or abuse, and sexual health issues such as increased risk of sexually transmitted infections or unwanted pregnancies. Number 6, reach out for support. Confide in your friends and family and ask for their support. Tell them what is happening and that you would like help in leaving the situation. It is likely that they will be willing it is likely that they will be willing to help in any way that they can. You can create a signal to alert them that you need help, such as a coded text message. Maybe, you text 1108 to your family members. They automatically know, get over to that house ASAP because I'm getting my tail whooped, okay? You can have that kind of system going on because he's not going to know what that 1108, even if you looked at your phone, he's not going to know what that is. So, you can do a number, or you can text, I'm making lasagna for dinner. That could be code for I'm in trouble and I need your help. Reach out to friends, family, neighbors, spiritual leaders, or anyone else who may be able to help you. I love that. When I read that, I love that. Have a code. Hey, I'm making spaghetti tonight. Or I'm baking a cake. Right now. Now in all caps. Your family or your friends, they know they need to get there because you need help. Or they know, call the police, send them to the house. You can have any kind of code you want set up and that other person will never know about it, okay? But the thing is reach out for support. And you guys know I'm a big stickler about reaching out for support when it comes to being careful who you reach out to. Because some people just want to know what you're going through so they can gossip and go run and tell somebody else. Be careful who you share that with. You want to reach out to me and say, Michelle, look, I'm being physically and or mentally abused. I need help. Reach out to me. My information is always going to be in the description box. And what you tell me stays between you and I. What you tell me stays between you and I. And I will try my best to get you the help that you need. You don't have to worry about me sharing that with anybody else. I can promise you that. So, but you have to find somebody that you can trust and tell them what's going on. Don't sit there and suffer in silence. Good grief. I'm going to tell y'all this and I'm going to do a recap and I'm going to let you be. There was a few years ago, I remember seeing on, I want to say it was 2020. It could have been some other show, Barbara Walters, but I believe it was 2020. But anyway, it might have been Barbara Walters. But anyway, the show was about a woman who had been physically abused. Well, let me backtrack. Her husband treated her like the queen that she was. And on its face, you might think, oh, this is so sweet. Child, he loves his woman. Oh, but if you dug a little deeper, he treated their kids like crap. And crap is not the word I really want to use, but he treated them like crap. It was 3 kids. They were all young. He made them sleep in a bedroom, dead of winter, you guys, with the windows up. What the entire hell is wrong with you when you're going to let your kids sleep in the bedroom with the window up, and then they didn't even have blankets on the bed? What is wrong with society? They didn't even have blankets on the bed, you guys. These little kids were sleeping in their underclothes, t-shirts and underwear. I want to say it was two girls and a boy, but they were all young. And as a result of that, the youngest was a baby. Well, she wasn't. When I say she's a baby, she might have been about maybe 2 years old, I think, year and a half, 2 years old. But the sad thing about it is that baby ended up dying. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine. I'm in the bedroom, in my warm bedroom, where my man just put rose petals all over the bed, and he's worshiping me with chocolate dipped fruit and flowers and negligees and all this good stuff. But right down the hall, my kids in the bedroom, dead of winter with the windows up, no blankets, sleeping in their undershirts and underpants. That's a shame before God. So, like I said, the youngest child died. So of course, you have to call the ambulance, and child services, they were called in to investigate. The woman had the other two children taken away from her. So I think a couple of years had passed or something other. She had supervised visits with her children, and she wanted to get them back. And I remember she was on the show and she was being interviewed, and the person interviewing her said, "Let me ask you a question. Why did you allow your kids to suffer like that? How could you be in the bedroom down the hall with your husband? It's warm and toasty because it's wintertime. And I want to say it was in Chicago. I could be wrong, but I think it was. But you're in your bedroom. It's nice and toasty. You have thick blankets. You have covers. You know what I'm saying? And you have on this sexy lingerie. You got rose petals all over the place. Boy, he's treating you like a queen. And down the hall, your kids are freezing to death in the cold because the window is up. And do you know what she said? She said, "Well, I was afraid of my husband. And I was afraid that if I said anything, that he would treat me like he was treating the kids." Y'all, I can't tell you, when she said that, I wanted to climb through that phone and smack her 10 ways from where she was sitting. That is the dumbest damn thing. Forgive my language, but that is the dumbest thing that I've heard. You don't let your kids suffer, and you sitting down the hall being pampered and treated like a queen. And the person interviewing her said, and I think it was a guy, now that I think about it, it was a guy that interviewed her. He said, "Well, let me ask you this. Why then did you not go to work and say something to your coworkers? Why didn't you go to work and call social services? Why didn't you go to work, call the police? You spent the night in that house, and I don't even think the kids were eating half the time. You spent the night in that house, and that man, you were so worried about him mistreating you that you allowed your kids to be mistreated. That's why the kids had been taken away from her. Like you said, you could have went to work and told your coworkers. You could have called the police and said, 'Look, I'm afraid to do this from my home, so I'm doing it here.' And you did nothing. And now you want to get your kids back." And the man said, "Look, I'll be honest with you. I hope they don't give you the kids back. You don't deserve them. You didn't do right by them." Do you think those older two are going to forget what she did? No, they're not going to forget that. Even if they love her, that's great. But they're not going to forget that. They're going to say, "Mama, why did you allow us to suffer while you were living it up down the hall?" Y'all, this is making me very emotional because I love children, and the thought of them being mistreated really just bothers my soul. I've gotten all off topic, but I just wanted to share that with you. So you guys have got to understand, you don't deserve to have somebody mistreat you. Stop thinking that you do it. For God's sake, don't you ever let anybody mistreat your kids. You don't let anybody treat your kids, your family, your friends, none of that. Call the police. If you can't do anything, call the police. But I'm going to tell you right now, my hand to God, had that been me, and that man treated my kids like that, because mind you, they were his kids too. They were his kids. So it wasn't like they were just her kids. They were his children that he treated that way. Had that been me, I'm telling y'all now, you would have seen me on the news. Because there's no way in this world or any other that I'm going to let anybody mistreat my children. Well, I only have one daughter, but you know what I'm saying. You could not mistreat my daughter. And you sitting here treating me like a queen. Oh, the devil is a lie. I would have taken the vase of the flowers that you gave me and bust you upside your head with it. And then when you blacked out, I'm calling the police, getting my babies, putting some clothes on them, getting in the car and getting the heck away from that house quick, fast, and in a hurry. Stop letting people abuse you, and certainly don't let anybody abuse your kids. Let me do a quick recap so I can let you go, because this is really starting to bother me. So today we talked about how to deal with emotional abuse. And we talked about what emotional abuse was. And it's when something is said, implied, or done to intentionally hurt someone's feelings on a consistent basis over an extended period of time. And we talked about things that you can do. Number one, I said be aware of the signs of emotional abuse. You've got to be aware of that. Stop laughing it off and, "Oh, he's just kidding. Kiki. No, he's not just kidding. And you can kiki on that. He's not kidding. He's serious when he says the things that he says to you, okay? Number two, know your rights. Okay, know your rights. You have the right to be treated with respect, with an equal relationship with your partner, within an equal relationship within your partner. You have that right. Let nobody take that from you. Let nobody tell you that you're beneath them in a relationship, because you have a right to be treated with respect. Number 3, realize that you cannot change your partner. You cannot change that man or that woman. They have to change because they want to change. They have to change only when they've acknowledged their behavior, because until they do that, they're not going to change. They're not. Number 4, don't retaliate. I know this is a hard one. You guys are probably going to say, Michelle, you lost your damn mind. But try not to retaliate, okay? Please don't do that, because I don't want to see you in jail. That person may be dead and gone on away from here and buried in the ground, but you will end up going to jail. So do not retaliate, okay? If you do, don't say I told you to do so, because I'm telling you now, don't. Number 5, recognize the long-term risks of an abusive relationship. And we talked about how the abusive relationship can contribute to physical problems such as migraines, arthritis, and body pains, mental health problems such as depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and alcohol/drug use or abuse, and sexual health issues with increase of STDs and unwanted pregnancies. Number 6, reach out for support. If you, and I always tell you guys, be careful who you talk to in your family. Even in your family, be careful who you talk to. Reach out to somebody, because help is there. Just reach out for it. So that's all I have, you guys. I want to say thank you so much for my new subscribers. Thank you so much to those that continue to support me in all that I do. I love you guys to the moon and back. And remember, you don't have to deal with depression. Get help. Reach out to me. Reach out to somebody if you need the help. Until next time, take care.